So welcome back, coders. Keep on coding. Never give up. So in this tutorial, we're going to talk about a React router. What React router is, just how can we move between pages? How can we put the link effect, which usually use the href, hyperreference, or href, to move between pages. When I click on something and then it moves to the next page. Now, React does not have this functionality inbuilt. So I need to install a dependency to help me with this. So to install the dependency, what you do, I can come here, go to your command prompt or terminal, and stop my server. And put yes to stop my server. So after stopping my server, I can clear that. Then I'm going to have to install it. You can say npm I dash capital D, then it's going to be React dash router dash DOM. Now, this library, React router DOM, it is not the most common. I mean, it is the most commonly used, but it's not the only one. There are other libraries that can help you in routing, but it's not the most common one. So I use npm I dash D React router, and I can click enter. So this will take some time to install, but once done installing, we shall continue with the tutorial. So we are back. It's done with installing. If it's done with installing, I can clear that and I can restart my server again. npm start, and my server will get restarted. So as my server is restarting, you come to your structure here, or your file structure. My server here will restart. So you come here to your file structure, go to your source folder. In the source folder, you create a new folder. Once a new folder, and then the folder name it pages. So we are going to create some pages which we are going to be able to link to. So the pages you'll create are simple. So in your pages here, you're going to create a new file. And then the file, you're going to create a couple of new files. So the first file, you're going to call it layout. You're going to call it layout.js. Then create another file. This file, you're going to call it in the home directory. In the pages directory, which is in the source directory. Create a home file, and you're going to call it home.js. Then create another file, and in that file, you're going to call it blogs.js. Blogs.js. Then create another file, and that file, you're going to call it contact.js. So, contact.js. Then create another file, and in that file you're going to call it nopage.js. So I'm going to call it nopage.js. So those are the files so far that we need. You create layout, home, blogs, contact, and no page. So after doing that, you can go to your index.js file. Now in your index.js file, we're going to import some things from React router DOM, the one we just installed. So we shall import the first thing we shall import. We want to import a couple of things. The first thing we shall import is browser. We're going to call it browse. Let me not spell wrongly. We're going to call it browser router. Now we want to also import routes. Then we're going to import route. So what we're going to import it from is from React router DOM. So I'm going to say React router dash DOM. So after importing that, now we need to import our different pages, or our different, let me remove this React router. We're going to have to import our different these pages that we created: layout, home, blogs. So I'm going to import the first one. Just say import layout, but we have not written the code in those different pages. We shall write it later on. So we shall import React layout from ./pages/layout. So after import, let me import the rest of the pages. I'm just going to paste to save time. copy, I'm going to paste. So I have imported home, we have imported, let's say, blogs, we have imported contact, and we have imported no page. So after that, we need to define our app to render. So what we shall do, we shall just say export. Let's not use export. Let's define our function app. Function app. Now in our function app, we shall have to return something. Then we can use the comma there, come down, and we need to define our wrapper. Now in React Router DOM library, the wrapper we are going to define is browser. It is what? Browser router. That will be our wrapper. So we shall now close browser router. Close. So after defining our wrapper or our browser router, we now need to define our routes. So we shall open our new component, and it's going to be routes, where all our routes will be put. So then we shall close routes. And let's close the tag here, routes. Now we are going to have to define our different routes. Now this route component, to define our first route, it can be nested. It doesn't mean that if I have to define my route, probably maybe this, let's give an example. This is my first route, and then my second route. Let me copy this. Then let me paste. Maybe my second route, third route in my routes object. No. Yes, you can do this, but you can also nest this route into another route. So probably you can have that first route nested into probably this route. You can space that. You can have this route nested into the following route. Now, when routes are nested, I'm going to show you what happens when routes are nested, but I need more information to explain this. So I'm going to create my first route. Because I'm going to nest more routes in it. Now, in this first route, which I'm going to nest into it, I'm going to have to define its path. Now, the path will just be the home/path. Now, which element will this route render? So this route, when this route is put in, the element it will render will be the component it will render will be the layout component. So this route will be the layout component. Now I need to define my second route. So let me copy this. Copy this. Now my second route will be index. So it's not going to have a path. So when a route does not have a path, and then I pass in index, what this index means, it's just that this route, when someone calls this first route and index here, it passes, it's just saying that, okay, fine, the path should just be the home. It should be similar to the one which I'm nesting, the home. So then the element it should render should be my home element. Should be my home element, or the home component. That's a component it will render. Then I'll give into my next route. Now my next route, I'm going to define the path, and then the path will be my path will be blogs. So I'm going to say blogs. So after defining my path blogs, the element it will point to will be the blog element. Simple as that, not something complicated. The element it will point to will be the blogs element. Then my contact. So I'll have my route. Then I'll define the path. The path will be contact. Then my element will equal to the element will be the contact element. So let's say contact. That close. I think I need to also close my path, and then I need to define another path. So I'll just say my route. Then in my route, I'm going to define a path. Path will equal to, inside I'm going to put a star. Now what this star means is that if someone enters any path that is unknown, the element I want it to point to, element will equal to, if someone enters any path, maybe let's say it's www.oppo.com, and then someone enters / maybe pizza, and pizza is not defined. It means that pizza is what? Pizza is the what? It's a star, it's not defined. It means that I need to just point to the what? To this specific element. The element is going to point to is a no page element. And this no page element is a 404. It's a 404 page. So it will point to that. So those are my different routes. So I can remove this white space. Also remove that white space. Then now I'm going to explain nesting. So when I nest this path, this path here / I nest it into these paths. So what this means is this simple. It means that this path that I've nested it into like blocks, it's going to also have the path of the parent of which it's nested. It means that these blocks here will be /blocks. So if here was maybe probably / let's say main. It means that this path to blocks will not be /blocks. It will be /main, then / let's say /main/. So this path to blogs will not be maybe www.opal. It will not be this. Maybe probably if our website is, let's give an example. Our website is www.opal.com. So that's our website /. Now our main page is maybe main /. That's our main page that points to the element layout. Now blogs. What blogs does now, since this blogs is nested into this main element, to point to blogs will not be that www./blogs to point to blogs. No. To point to blogs will not be this www/ point to blogs. Since it's nested, what it will be www.main then /blogs. Since it's nested into this route. So now this will be its URL. It will not be www.opal/blogs. No, it will be the other way around. So that's what nesting does. So I've finished defining my different routes. Now I need to render out my app. So to render out my app, I can come here to render and then render out my app. So after rendering out my app, I now need to define my different pages. So I am not going to what? Type in all this code. No, I won't type in the one for layout, but the one for home and the others I won't type in. So the one for home, since this they are fairly simple. So the one for home will just be simple as this. The one for home will be my simple component here that returns home, and then it will export. It will be exported so that it can be accessed. Then for my blogs will also be the same. Just return blog articles, simple as that. Blog articles, and then it's exported. And then for my contact will also be similar to that. I'll copy that for my contact, similar to that. And then also for my no page. So if you're coding along, you can pause the video. You could be pausing the video so that you can be able to type in the code for the different pages that I'm just pasting in. Because they're fairly simple. Then I can come here and paste no page, and I want it to return a h1 tag of 404. And I can save. So now I can come back to our layout. So remember, our layout. Let me remove this path. Our layout is the first element that is rendered onto the screen. But this layout should be able to define the links, the different links to these different routes. So here, I want first import outlet. So I'll import outlet, and then I'm going to import also link from. I want to import it from will be from React router DOM. So after that, I'm going to have to define my layout component. So I'll say const layout equal to my simple function there. Then I'm going to have to return something, some HTML code. Then I want to first define my wrapper. I'll delete that one tab, define my wrapper. After defining my wrapper, then I'm going to define my code. So in my code, I'm going to define the nav element for the navigation element. Nav /nav. After defining my navigation element, Then I'm going to define a list which will have my different navigations. I'll say I'll define an unordered list. And I'll close my unordered list. So after defining my unordered list, I'm going to define my first list for my first item, which will be to my first link. So I'll define my first item and I'll close. Now in my first item, this is what I'm going to do. Now remember, in HTML usually if I wanted to put a link to another page, I would use href, then I would enter my link. That's how you did it in HTML. But in React here, since I'm using the React Router DOM, what I would do, I would use link space, then I would say to, then I would say space, and then I would put my what? Put my URL to which I'm linking to. So it will be slash. Then after that, I can define the name home, and then I can close my link component. Close my link component. That is as simple as that. Then I can define this for blogs and for contacts. So I'll come here down, paste this code, just then here I will link to slash blogs. I'll link to slash blogs. Then the name will be blogs, and then I'll also link to my contact. So I'll come down here, link to slash contact, then here I'll also link to contact. Then I'll save. So I can come back here to my code and see where errors are. It's saying export default was not found in layout. So let's see, export default. Yes, I did not export my layout. So then I'll have to export my layout. Export default. Then I'll export my layout component. Now you could have been wondering, what does this outlet do? Where haven't I defined an outlet? So to define my outlet, at the end of the nav here, I want to call my outlet tag. So I'm going to explain what the outlet means. I'll call my outlet tag. So now you'd ask me, what is an outlet? What an outlet does, the outlet renders the current route selected. So it will show you the current route selected. It just renders the current route selected. So let's come back here. Saying no page is not defined. Index.js line 18. So let's see, index.js line 18. No page is not defined. Yes. Misspelled the no page. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. No page. I save. Everything is now working. So what the outlet does, this outlet that I put here, let's go back to our code, and then let me remove it from layout here. This outlet. If let's say I remove this outlet, delete, I save, you can see that this home, because it renders out the current route that I'm on. So since I've removed it, you can see home is no longer appearing there. But if I come back and I put it back, Ctrl Z, and I save, I come back, you can see that it's rendering my current home. So if I click home, I'm on home. When I click blogs, you can see that the URL has changed to blogs. When I click contact, you can see that the URL has changed to contact. So that is how you route different pages. But React Router DOM is not the only library that can help you in routing pages. So if it's a little bit confusing, you can go to the documentation of React and look for other popular libraries that will help you. If the way they define routes is confusing to you, you can look for another way of defining routes. So thank you for watching. Continue coding. If you like the video, you can leave a like, and see you in the next video.